Right on, man. I just got ghosted by Tim Riddle. Also, my brother,
you very, very much, everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you for staying up with us. Thank you for coming. Good night, everybody.
Well, folks, Bayou is back. So is a couple other songs that have taken a little bit of a break, and Big Whiskey returns to the set list. Dave Matthews Band post-show stream starts now.
It's your boy Concert Viz 34 back at home.
What up? What up? It's your boy Concert Viz 34.
Yep, so your boy Concert Viz 34 coming to you here.
What up? What up? It's your boy Concert Viz 34. Aria. Okay, so this is Aria, and just tell us a little bit about yourself and about your love for the Dave Matthews Band.
I've been a fan of the band since April 28, 1998, and if you recognize the date, that's when Before These Crowded Streets was released.
Alpine is definitely a better venue than Summerfest, but we'll take it. I think I've been going to shows for about 20-something years.
I always tell people, like, compare DMB to now to when I first started. And I got started, in my opinion, I feel like I got started late. Like, I was at the very end of the band's prime. I feel like that 03 to 06 was like the end of the prime. 07, 08 was like, you know, we're at the very end. And then when Roy passed.
Dave really, this is the thing. Dave has put, Rashawn has been assigned the quarterback of this team. He is the coach, the play caller. He designs the jams. Dave just shows up and plays whatever he's going to play. Your Belinda, what up? Anaheim, what up? Shohei Ohtani, hold your head, fam. Get well soon. Garden Grove, what up? San Diego, down the coast, what up? Tustin, what up? Hacienda Heights, what up? Norwalk, what up? Pasadena, what up? RIP to the Pac-12. It's almost 2-pack if 2 more teams leave. RIP to the Staples Center sponsorship. Crypto.com Arena, what up? Long Beach, what up? Compton, what up? I know you far away, but shout out to Bakersfield. Death Valley, what up? RIP Qualcomm Stadium. What up? What up? It's your boy Conserviz 34. Thank you guys for joining. And oh, we got Alex in the chat. Shout out to Alex, man. He's doing big things on TikTok. Made a great video about the songs that we need left for Busted Stuff. He says, nice to see Come On back in the lineup. I know that's one that Hines likes, and he's right there. Hines lost power, so we hope that whatever happened, he gets some power back. The after show must go on. But thank you guys for joining. Tonight we are talking Irvine Night 2. This is the final show at FivePoint Amphitheatre. The final show. As I mentioned yesterday, this place is being shut down. It's a temporary bleacher setup anyway, but the town has decided to move forward without a permanent amphitheater. They decided not to continue working with Live Nation. They could not come to an agreement. There were some hopes that they would still have music, and that's a sad thing. Because you hope to see as many regions as possible, even in Southern California, Orange County here. You hope that they have shows. And this is a great way to end out, given two back-to-back nights of a tour that is just right now phenomenal. So we're going to go ahead and reach out to our first guest and see if he's available. Bryant. He's one of the people I've met on Twitter, and he's a West Coast DMB fan. I want to get some of his insight from the show. So let's go ahead. Let me reach out to him.
Hello.
Hey, Bryant, it's ConcertViz34. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing well. You're live on the air. We want to know, what was it like to be at this Irvine Night 2 show?
It was pretty phenomenal, but also kind of bittersweet because, as you've probably heard the rumors, the venue itself is closing down for good. So it was amazing to be there, but I mean, my very first concert was in Irvine, and I've been to Irvine 17 times. And so it was just amazing, but also felt like the end of an era for the concert. So.
Gotcha. Yeah, we were just talking about that. I had read some articles yesterday. Can you just kind of break down, as someone who's been to these shows, the convenience of having shows in Orange County versus having to go up to, LA or go up to other parts of California?
Sure. Now, I admit that I live actually right next to LAX.
Okay.
But when we talk about, obviously the cliches of LA traffic is, if you live, 8 miles away, you're still like in a different time zone. So especially juxtaposing it with the bowl every other year, because that's what they've been doing recently is, Irvine Bowl. It's a nightmare to get in. It's a nightmare to get out of anywhere in Hollywood and the greater LA area. So even though it's a lot closer to me, coming out to Orange County, right, opens it up a little more. And you're, halfway to San Diego, and it almost feels like, you're in your own like world out in Irvine. So I've been to places like Alpine, obviously the Gorge and things like that. And LA is so crammed that coming out to Orange County, takes about an hour for me. And but it feels almost like it's like our own secluded little area for listening to Dave. It's our own amphitheater that's out of the big city, and we can breathe, and we can get in and out of the venue a lot better. And the bowl has great acoustics, but Irvine is just special.
Gotcha. And that makes sense. I know even some of our guests coming up that went to the Hollywood Bowl from out of town mentioned just the idea you're in the middle of LA. Even the parking, there's not an idea of having these lots you can sit in with a bunch of people. So definitely interesting to hear that perspective and how this is kind of a special place, a getaway in an area where the music is the main thing. What did you think of the opener, Looking for a Vein, to open up the show on a quieter note?
for me, obviously, since the album just came out this year, I hadn't heard it yet. So it's nice because it's kind of like, here's Dave, and he's solo, and we're going to start the show a little quiet, but it can only build from there, right? And so wanting to hear Looking for a Vein, you know, not having to like stop in the middle and quiet it back down, I thought it was a really good opener because, again, it gives you the chance to build from there.
Definitely. And that's been a theme of this year where they've tried some things like Virginia in the Rain, and you've had even crowds, as they always do. It takes a little bit of time for them to get to their seats. So you go from that to some stuff like 41 to kind of get everyone engaged. What were some standout songs at the beginning of this set? So we have Vein, 41, Come On, Granny, All You Ever Wanted Was Tomorrow, and Spaceman to kind of start off. What stands out there?
Yeah, well, obviously 41 stands out because that's the crowd favorite. That's my number 2 all-time song. And, you know, you have Vein, people are finding their seats, and then 41's kind of like, oh, we're here now. This show is starting. So, you know, wherever 41 falls, but especially at the beginning, it really sets a good tone. And we were a little worried because Dave, after 41, he was talking about how he had a frog in his throat. So he was actually able to sing better than he was able to talk. And we were just hoping that we could hold on till the end of the show. We knew this was his 3rd night in a row. And so we were just, you know, we were like, keep it together, hold on. 41 really did a great job of bringing it up. And then, of course, Granny is a fan favorite. And you could just tell 41 sort of got them going, and Granny kept them going with that momentum.
Gotcha. And how did the crowd react to Come On? Was it happy? Were people confused? At least where you were.
I think. Well, I was actually in the bleachers up in the terrace tonight, and it definitely seemed like a lot of people didn't know that one. Now, Come On happens to be my favorite from Come Tomorrow, so I was quite happy and singing away. But I think, you know, there were a lot more people that didn't know it up there in the terrace level. So they were probably not sure, you know, on that one, but I thought it was great.
Gotcha. Yeah, and it's been 40 shows. May 24th, 2023 was the last time it was played in this tour. So definitely special to see that come back. Now, the next part of this set, we have a Big-Eyed Fish, Into Graves, Into Lover Laid Down.
Yes.
What was that like?
Well, of course, we were hoping for Fish Tender because that's the standard. And, you know, he has the 12 string, and it's usually going into Bartender. And Bartender is one of my favorites. Bartender is very near and dear to me specifically because remember that they were in LA at Staples Center in 08, the day that Roy passed.
Yeah.
And what we thought was going to be a canceled show, they decided the show must go on for Roy. So Bartender was what they opened with, and that was, you know, chills every time I hear it. So I was surprised that they didn't go into Bartender, but Lie in Our Graves is such a great song, and it was a welcome surprise.
Wow. And so you were at that show at the Staples Center?
I absolutely was at that show at Staples Center.
Wow, yes. That's one of the big moments in D&B history. There, that, like you said, they still played that show. They didn't cancel it. Now we get through the set goes on and on here. What would you say the loudest crowd moment was, as far as the crowd being engaged and cheering or just being happy about a specific song?
The whole time? I mean, definitely Ants brought the house down, especially when they faked too much into Ants, which I called. I said that's what's going to happen. My friend who came with me, it's only his second time ever seeing them. He went to the bowl with me last year, night 2. And I said, watch, they fake this into Ants. And the crowd went absolutely bonkers. So, I mean, obviously that's the one that's closing the main set. So it's an expected answer, but yeah. And in that one, if you were listening, they had, Jeff and Rashawn were trading fours. Now, normally we get the solos in Ants, but we don't necessarily ever hear them, or not very often, hear them trading fours, and they were having so much fun. And that really just brought everybody to the a climax.
Wow. So they were like typically where it's Buddy and Tim, it was Jeff and Rashawn doing it.
Yes.
Oh, wow, that's cool. So you got a little variety there. And it seems like, I know it's been played 13 times, but it seems like Ants, it's never played every show, obviously, but it seems like it had been hiding for some portions of the East Coast tour. So pretty cool to see that come back here. And you get Greg Fillinganes on Late in the Evening. What do you think about that cover and the guest there? He's also on Bayou as well and Break Free. But what do you think about that Late in the Evening?
Great. That was great. I really thought Bayou was going to come yesterday because when we talk about keyboard heavy songs, I was at Red Rocks in 05, and they had Robert Randolph on Bayou and things like that. So I was like, oh, this is naturally a song for him. And they didn't do it yesterday. And then he came out today, and I was like, I got to think that he's gonna come out on Bayou, and of course he did. And then when they went into Late in the Evening, I looked over and there was Fillinganes again, and Dave even made comment. He's like, "We're playing songs. This guy's played so many songs that he's played on everything, and so we had to play this one." And it was it was phenomenal. And that's the first time I'd seen Late in the Evening because he just debuted it this year.
Right. Yeah. He brought it out there, the Paul Simon tribute, after he recently did the tribute to him there. And also one other thing to note, this was the first, I know we talked about Big Eyed Fish. This was the first West Coast Big Eyed Fish since the Gorge 2019. I was there. So that's special to get that back. And just a reminder to folks that not every song that is coveted by fans is played at the Gorge every year. And there's just there's too many good songs in general. But yeah, first Big Eye Fish since the pandemic. So
yeah, and it was again very welcomed. It's sentimental to me, love Big Eyed Fish, and whether or not it goes into Bartender, and this time when it went into Lion on Graves, like I said, that was special. So on the West Coast, we don't always get the love, I had a feeling Busted Stuff wouldn't show up. I had a feeling some of those other ones, but the other thing that really got me going was, and I know they did this a few weeks ago before they took the tour break, was Lying in the Hands of God, which, remember, had the outro, the ABI outro, but they still were playing the chords of Lion in the Hands of God. And then he, one or two shows, I think, he actually segued into the chords of the American Baby intro and actually played it. And we were afraid that, I thought, you know what? His voice is kind of hoarse. Mm-hmm. I don't know if he's going to be able to do the screams tonight. So I don't know what we're going to get at the end, but I was really hoping that they would, segue into the actual American Baby intro. And when they did, it just hit, it hit perfectly.
Yeah. And I saw that. I didn't watch, obviously I wasn't at any of the shows where they did the ABI right after. How did that guitar change go? Were you able to see that? Like, did he just go to his tech, or did he, like, how did that work?
Yeah, he just kind of went back. The tech met him in the back over by Carter, and he was able to switch pretty seamlessly.
Okay.
Same thing with with Big Eyed Fish. We're like, well, obviously it's going to go into. I was explaining this to my friend. I was like, well, it's going to go into Bartender because he's just going to keep the 12 string out, and it's the easiest thing to do. And then all of a sudden, that faked me out, and then we were like, well, he's able to switch on us real quick. So obviously they know what they're doing.
Yeah, and shout out to Craig, who's been having to make these switches with the fish tenders, and I believe there was a Big Eye Fish and Lion Our Graves throughout this tour. I think they switched into that another time, but yeah, there's been some surprises here where you don't know what guitar is coming next and what's going to go next. And Craig's been great. Some broken strings in Guilford. I think 2 or 3 times strings broke or guitars weren't working. So a lot of work behind the scenes.
He broke a string last night too.
Oh, he did. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
during Crash, I believe it was.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's not even a song you strum hard per se. But hey,
Right.
I mean, there's just this is showbiz, right? These things happen. So let's look at the encore. What'd you think, Sister, and then Watchtower to close out this venue? Really?
I predicted Watchtower because I don't know if people know this, but Fonzie actually lives 10 minutes down the street from the venue in Laguna Beach.
Oh, okay.
And so it did not surprise me at all because last night they ended the set with Crush, which they have been doing pretty much pretty heavily in this tour. And so I had a feeling it was going to be Watchtower because those are the two Fonz solos, right? The Fonz solo into Crush, which ended the show last night, and then tonight I figured it would be Watchtower because Fonz has two solos. This is Fonz's home venue, and he's going to shine, right? They're going to give him his spotlight. So Sister was great. I always loved that song. You know, I know the meaning behind it. He talked about how he used to play it for the girls, the twins, when they were little, and he remembers playing it, and they were holding hands, and he was just reminiscing about how they're grown now and don't hold hands anymore. And then there it was, and it was, you know, that one's always, it puts, you know, goosebumps, chills, and then right into that solo, and you knew that Watchtower was coming up, and he was going to get his voice up. It had lasted the whole time, and he was going to up the ante and up the volume, and just ended with a bang.
That's awesome. And speaking of daughters, you have Stefan's daughter, well, at least last year was at NYU, I believe. And then Dave's girls are grown. His son, I believe, is high school. So all their kids are growing up, and it seems like this is going to be the thing they can hold on to a little further as their children move into adulthood. So I'm excited to see what they do with the rest of this tour, and even with these upcoming years. Seems like Carter, even last night we played the intro to Two Step, or no, the ending, the jam of Two Step to start off the show. And I mean, Carter really, he had said he doesn't want to stop, according to Matt Norlander, who's still holding that interview. But I was looking at the video of that today, and I'm like, this, I mean, I don't think anyone looks, you know, hopefully everything, they're all well, nothing we don't know about, but this band doesn't look like it's going to retire anytime soon.
Yeah. Dave even made mention, you know, normally they have that standard 2 to 3 week period before they end the last leg of the tour. And Dave was just talking about, he's like, you know, I know we've been playing all summer and we just took a couple weeks off, but man, I really miss my extended family up here. They were having so much fun.
Yeah.
You know, and I heard the Norlander interview, and you know, I did a little happy dance. I was walking my dog, and he was like, no, Carter said he wants to play well into his 70s. He doesn't want to quit anytime soon. And that was my dance of joy because my son, I named my son Carter after the greatest drummer in the world. He was with me last night for night one. It was his 5th show. He's 11 years old. And thankfully he does love them, because otherwise his name would have been in vain a little bit. But but yeah, I was very excited by that. You know, those rumors that spread when they weren't playing two-step for the whole first half of the tour, and you're like, can he not do it anymore? What's going on? Like, this is the guy. This is the guy that makes the machine run. And you know, to hear that he wants to keep going, you know, I don't have to worry. Is this the last year I'll be able to see them? You know,
right? Definitely, and it's great to hear that, and we wish the band the best. And I, like just like you said, I'm always rooting for Dave in these rare 3-night stands. They've had a couple of these with festivals. I'm rooting for them to be okay, and for no one to be hurt, and for Dave's voice to be preserved. But hey, thank you so much for coming on, Bryant, and we're glad that you were able to enjoy this last hurrah at this venue, and hopefully there is some solution, or hey, maybe we see some stuff at was it at the Honda Center, I believe it's called, where the Ducks play. Where the Ducks play, or or something could be worked out so that there could still be music here just south of LA. But have a good one. Take care. Appreciate you being on.
Thank you so much, and have a great night.
All right, take care. Bye.
Bye.
All right. So I want to thank Bryant for coming on again. Always been on Twitter as well. Just one of the Twitter fans. It's great to have people from IG on, people from Twitter on, and even if even from other places, people I've met throughout the years to come on and talk about these shows, these venues, these experiences there. And yeah, Carter. And one thing about Carter that is incredible is, well, everyone in the band, but Carter has played so many more shows than most drummers. It's not like, you have Neil Peart, who to me, I've been blessed to see Neil Peart and Carter in the same month back in, I think that was 2015, the Rush 40 tour. Um, but Carter has played so much more than Neil and so much more than Fishman from Fish. Like, he has played so many shows, right? And he plays at such a high elite level. And that's the legacy of this entire band. Nobody plays more shows than DMB for this long and this rigorous outside. Like, even some bands will play, they don't play a bunch of amphitheaters. They may play a casino. They may play something indoors as they get older. But this band is playing in high humidity, high volume of shows year after year after year. Even during the pandemic year, they had 3 shows or two or 3 shows, right? They did the Cosmopolitan, and they also had the show at Innings. No, that was 2 shows. So it is just impressive that this band continues to move forward. And while you'll see even Springsteen doesn't tour to the level, and now he's older, obviously, and Springsteen puts on 3-hour shows, but even like, this band continues to tour nonstop every year. And we sometimes we can take it for granted, but they do an incredible job here giving us these shows and doing what it takes to stay healthy. Let me see. We're gonna try to reach out to. Let me see if we have some other people ready. I'm gonna try to see if Carrie's ready. Let me mute the stream.
Your call has
Oh,
been forwarded.
just kidding. Carrie's not ready. Let's see if we get Shane.
Marcus, what's
Hey,
up, buddy?
how you doing? You good to come on? You're on the stream now, but are you good to go?
Yeah, sure. Let's chat. I got time. I got nothing else
Okay.
going on.
All right. So we want to talk. We're gonna focus more on the poster situation, but let's start off first with the show. What did you think of this show?
Yeah, this was a good show. I mean, Angie and I really enjoyed it. It started out slow. I had a hard time with the flow. This is my opinion tonight, but I had a hard time with the flow. Starting off with the looking for a vein. Like, I really thought that was. We looked at each other like, is this the most like attentive the crowd will be at the very beginning of the show? So we really want to get this vein out. Like, we just thought it was an odd start, especially with the crowd. I felt was ready to go. Like, the energy was pretty high in our section, and I thought they came out with a slower start to the show, and then into 41, which got everybody up and jamming. But the outro of 41 was a bit slower, right? So it kind of went right back down. Come on's fun. But we thought Granny probably should have started the show tonight. We both thought, oh, there's Granny. Why didn't this start? Again, this is just Angie and our opinion. So,
Right.
I had a hard time with the flow. And some of the songs out there were great. Big Eyed Fish. Spaceman, it's Big Eye Fish and Lyra Graves, Lover Lay Down. Like, that's a good 4-song stretch for us. We love those 4 songs in a row. So, I mean, but again, slower Lion or Graves was good. Starts out slow and builds. I don't know. I had a hard time with the flow tonight. That's just me.
I was gonna say it's a Saturday night. It's not a Friday night where people are coming in from traffic. Although I will say again, I wasn't there. I don't mind them starting like the first song, maybe on a little lower note, and then popping up the second song. But I can get what you're saying as far as this is a Saturday night show. The crowd was pumped, your section's pumped, and a granny opener, I think, would obviously be something people would be going nuts.
Absolutely.
So,
and the crowd wanted to go nuts. Like our
gotcha.
section was waiting for like a big boom, and when Big Eyed Fish, Spaceman into Big Eyed Fish was probably what really set off our section. And I don't want to put anything down. Granny should have started the show, in our opinion. That was fantastic. 41 is always good, but that outro can get drawn out and slower, you know. And then Lion Our Graves is great. Lover Laydown is slower. Song that Jane likes. Break Free is always great. I don't know. I could go right through the whole set list. It was a good show. Probably wasn't my top show of the last 7 I've seen. I mean, ABI was a highlight. Absolutely. The guest tonight, I know you're not a fan of Bayou, but boy, that Bayou was really good with the guest. To have dueling pianos going back and forth, and they just gave them the freedom to run. You know, it was fantastic.
Gotcha. Yeah, and I love Greg Gaines. I saw him play with John Mayer. I mean, he's played with everyone across this music industry, from R&B to rock, and everything in between. But you know, I'm glad I wasn't. I'm glad I didn't get Bayou, but I think I can understand with this guest how that's special. And again, Greg and Buddy, like you said. But the main thing here, we want to talk to you about the poster.
Oh yeah, the poster.
Actually, and while I'm looking at this may make sense. Jason Grovert says, I think it was a slow start because his voice was having some challenges at the beginning.
Absolutely.
Maybe had to do with the warm up.
Angie and I said the same thing.
And that's what Bryant said.
He commented that he had a frog in his throat.
Yeah.
You know, he's like, but I'll get through it. And then we said the same thing. I wonder if the set list is reflectant upon that frog when he wrote the set list tonight. So yeah.
That could be. That's a great point. Thanks for saying that, Jason. These 3-night stands are tough. I understand why the band that Highland, California show, while a weird venue, like a very odd venue for them to play in Southern California, I think they used it as a warm up. I just think maybe that desert air or the drier, I would just say the drier air. That's the main thing about the West Coast. It is so much drier. And I say this as someone who was in an apartment before I just got married. I was in an apartment that was very muggy, and it was a basement. It was a bottom unit, so it was had a lot of moisture in it. But I would go out to the West Coast thinking, oh, sweet, I don't have to deal with the moisture and all this stuff in the summer. And every time I went to the Gorge, and even when I've been out to Vegas, the dry air I get all sorts of allergies, all sorts of congestion. So I'm not Dave Matthews, but I can understand how some people react differently to the dry air. But anyway, let's get to the poster situation. So we got the picture of the merchandise. Walk us through, how early did you get here for the poster? What time, Pacific time, did you get to the venue?
You know what? Everything has run so differently. We got here, we figured gates opened at 6. We come strolling up about maybe like 5:40. We got parked, walked in, you know, at least over to figure out where warehouse line is and pit line and all that. And I was not in line, Marcus, I kid you not, no more than a minute. Angie had actually said, I'm just going to go over here to Will Call and get the tickets. You go get in line. I got to the back of the line, and they were letting us through the metal detectors at like 20 minutes to 6. And I was like, oh, all right. And then as soon as we got through metal detectors, Angie met me with the tickets, and they scanned ticket. We were in the venue at like 20 minutes to 6, way before. We were like, holy cow, nobody really cared. Everything was so laid back. I had to be one of the first 5 people in merch. Seemed like people weren't even interested in the merch at first. I mean, those that had tubes knew what they were going for, but
Yeah.
others were marching to either their seats or I don't know where they were going. Don't matter. So I kind of wandered right over to merch, and we picked up the second variant, the orange and red one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's how we got in. And
how was the
once we got
outside
into
merch
thing-
though? There's outside merch, right?
I'm sorry, say again.
Was there an outside merch stand?
There was outside merch with only the show poster, which is the blue one,
Okay.
available.
And how early did you guys get there early for that one, or did you guys just go inside to like how early were people lined up at that outside merch?
I really don't know. We didn't go to outside merch. We just
Okay.
looked at it as we walked by, and there was a really long line.
Oh, there was.
And,
Okay.
I just went right into the warehouse line, and like I said, about a minute later, they were opening up through security, and then scanning tickets, and we were in the venue. I was like, oh my gosh, how easy is this? Like, we just arrived, and we literally were in the venue with no waiting, no anything. It was really nice, actually. So it saved on a lot of just standing around. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. And so it sold out, right? The variant sold out. Did the regular poster sell out? Do you know?
I do not.
Okay.
I do not know if the regular sold out. I saw an awful lot of people with poster tubes though tonight, so
Okay.
it wouldn't surprise me.
Gotcha. Yeah, and just if you guys are watching on the stream, I'm gonna pull this up. What I love about Daniel Danger is the attention to detail with his posters. There's always a historical reference. There's always something that he's tying into the local community. And to me, this is just a level of research and really just thoroughness that makes Daniel Danger to me stand out. And he's still got a lot of art in him. He has a lot of art, a lot of years ahead of him to continue to do the brilliant work he does. So he said this on Twitter today. He said, hey all, presenting my 4th poster for Dave Matthews Band tonight in Irvine, California. This is my take on Juana Maria, the lone woman of San Nicolas Island, found in 1850. She was the last surviving member of the Nicolino tribe. So this is a woman, the last person from this tribe that's alive. It's bittersweet. That's what Daniel Danger does. It's very bittersweet, but it's historical. Now, part of the Tongva tribe, which is important to the area, she had been living alone on the island with her dogs for nearly 20 years, had a little hut made of whale bones, caught seals, etc. When they brought her to a mission on the mainland, she wore a cloak made of cormorant feathers, but died only weeks after arriving. So it is her spirit back on the island, back in the darkness, other than the moon and the bioluminescent waves, far, far from the lights of the modern coast. And then there's also a picture here we have online. It says this picture features a replica of the cloak from the old mission in Santa Barbara. These will be available at the show, the regular moonlight colorway and the limited sunrise. Let me pull up this so people can see this, but there's a replica. This is thoroughness. This is respecting the history of California, Southern California, which had many missions. The Spanish were out here. Other explorers were out here, and this was someone from a tribe that unfortunately died out after as conquest came here. So, what were your thoughts on this poster?
Oh, we loved them. We absolutely loved them. This might be my. I'm trying to think how many dangers I have. Maybe just the one from Noblesville. I don't know what else he has done that I might have.
So he's also done the Gorge.
Okay, I definitely don't have that one.
He has the Stone poster. So the lyric poster or the music, the series of songs, the song posters they're having. So this is fourth, yeah. So this would be his fourth poster, right? So he's got. I'm trying to count right now. He's got the Deer Creek one. He's got the Gorge one, and then number 3 is the Stone, and this is number 4.
All right, yeah. So I've got two of the 4. I like them. They look great in the basement with the other ones.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm glad I scored both prints. And this is the first time for Angie and I too. We've never gotten 2 prints. You know, if we get a poster, we get the poster. If a foil's available and it's nice, we'll get the foil.
Mm-hmm.
We've never purchased both. You know, but they were so dramatically different and look so wonderful. Yeah, they're going to look amazing side by side in a frame.
Definitely. And that's what I know people were telling you that you had put a poll out. Should we try to get both?
Right.
So it's
funny thing is Aaron Hines called it. He's like, "Come on, like, who are you kidding? You're going to get it anyway." And Angie and I just laughed. We're like, yeah, he's right. You know, we were just like, it was too good to pass up. So yeah, we got them both.
And we have a meme. It's that classic meme where the guy's holding the hands with his girl and he's looking back at another girl walking away. And the West Palm Beach Quack is the DMB poster folks girl. And then the Irvine Danger is the other one. I found this was from one of the poster groups. So I don't know where it originated from, but I saw this being circulated.
That's
pretty funny. Yeah. And Tyler Hensley, I think he nails this on the point. I think what I love about Quack and Danger, both of these posters have research. Right. They have research, they have investment on this. Now my homie Michael from the STL says the Quack one has the fire dancer when this one doesn't. I don't think a fire dancer gives you a clear win. Although I'll say the gold pour one is phenomenal. Also of note, I'll say this may be I don't know if it's a hot take. I think the fire dancer is overrated because it doesn't, first of all, it confuses people. I don't think of like this band full of awesome people. I don't think like the fire, I don't know. I know Dave drew it, like that was, and it was part of stand up, but the fire dancer alone is not going to make me think one is better than the other. The Irvine Danger has nature in a wider sense. You give anything with the shoreline or with the ocean or a beach, that's gonna be better than for most times. Both of these are phenomenal, but I'll easily take the Danger over, and that's what Tyler says. The Irvine Danger is far superior. I didn't even like the West Palm Beach poster when it was released. I thought it was, again, I understand why people like the Quack, and I think it's a great poster. I just the Daniel Danger poster speaks much more broadly to me and what I love in posters. And just what Danger does is Dave does this with his lyrics. His music can be brutally honest and tragic, but pay it forward to history. You think of Don't Drink the Water. That's what this is really the Don't Drink the Water poster, in the sense of you're looking at something tragic that happened, colonization and the new world being taken over caused sad stories like this tribe. And even the Stone, which is just a awesome but tragic song, Shotgun. This is everything that I love about Dave, and everything I love about Daniel Danger is that there's beauty in the tragedy and the adversity. So anyway, I think it's far better. Let's talk about I got this picture you sent me. This was a Mile High Dad exclusive photo sent to me. We have this, and again, if you're watching this stream, Shane, aka Mile High Dad, he was in the gates, as he said, early. So you still have the variant there. You still have the regular there. But as he's walking in as one of the first people to get into the main inside booth, you have the night one poster just chilling there. Tell us about that.
Yeah, and not was it just chilling. There was a substantial stack. It looked like.
Yeah, we're gonna zoom
to
in.
the ones next to it. I mean, so I was shocked about that because I remember saying to you last night. I apologize. I was like, oh, I didn't check to see if they had sold out of posters on our way out. So I went over to the booth. You and I got chatting earlier, and I got a picture. They let me kind of in the booth a little bit to get a good picture. And I was like, thanks, ladies. But yeah, it was still available. You know, it didn't sell out last night, I guess. So I don't know if it was still available at the end of tonight's show. Again, we didn't walk by the merch booth, so I don't know what sold out.
Yeah. And there's a very, this is a very, and I was commenting on Twitter. There is a feast and famine with posters nowadays. Every idea has been kind of created under the sun. You have some fans who just don't go to shows anymore. You have some newer fans that are just getting into posters. You have long-term DMB fans who have gone to shows since the 90s. Some of them have just gotten into posters the last 5 to 6 years. So you have a various amount of angles of people in posters. But if a poster does not have a certain artist, if a poster does not have a level of thoroughness and greatness, it may not sell out. And you see
last
that.
night's poster. I mean, I think pretty fortunate we got back-to-back good posters for this weekend.
Oh yeah, it wasn't bad. And you were at Shoreline, right? And I said the same.
I was complaining about Shoreline. We got methane at the expensive show, at the low number seat capacity show. We got the methane, and then we come here and Irvine gets back-to-back, which I'm really happy with both posters. I like both. This is a repeat print from an artist that we have, or not repeat print, another print from an artist that I already have. So now I have multiples, and it's wonderful. Yeah, I thought it was a win-win this weekend in Irvine.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So you were at Highland. So the Highland was the one that had the method. But I'm talking last year. Didn't you go to Shoreline?
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm pulling this up here. This was another poster. This is what reminded me of night one. I thought night one had a good poster. I talked about the studio and how they should have more of their artists getting shine compared to Methane. This is on the screen. I have the Shoreline poster. This poster did not sell out at the venue. Now online, people grabbed it up. I believe it may still be on there. I don't know, and sometimes they pull it in. But that Shoreline poster, if I was there, it would have been an instant purchase, and I would have thought it would have sold out. So it's the house in the bottle that did not sell out at the venue as we saw the one from night one this past. I thought it was a good poster, but it did not pull enough people in to buy it. And like that's where the feast and the famine thing comes in, is you have these posters from a Daniel Danger, from a Quack, from other artists that people love. And even some of the Slaters, like the Virginia Beach Slater that we had, the Slater from the opening night of the tour. People feast on those, and then there's a famine of there's just posters that aren't selling, and some posters you think are going to sell out don't sell out. Some posters I know are not going to sell out, but the band is pushing this poster or thinking, oh, it was going to be big. You see it the second day. So that's where we are with the poster community, with the poster demand. Is there's some posters people are going absolutely nuts for. There's more people seeking out, like the Gorge this year is, even if a poster is subpar, I guarantee you it still sells out. The Gorge is like the Super Bowl of posters because you have people who camp. There's people that camp 3 days that are able to get this poster. There are people that buy a lawn ticket for the Gorge just to get a poster. And then you have a triptych typically that people go after. So it is just, you have these big weekends of posters, and you have these weekends like a Camden night one didn't sell out. But, again, even though Camden's a popular venue, it's just the poster game this year for that night one. It was not on point. So we'll have to see what happens. And you have to send us a picture or put it on Twitter. Once you get those things framed up next to each other, We would love to see what it looks like in the crib.
We will absolutely do that.
All right. Any other shows this year for this summer tour for you?
Summer tour's over tonight. That's it.
Wow.
Tomorrow we get out. We get on the road heading south. I think on the 15 down to San Diego to catch our flight out of California back to Colorado. So
wow. What do you think? What are your thoughts about this tour? About experiencing all these shows, East Coast, West Coast, Midwest. What do you think about what you've experienced?
This has been one of the best summer tours that I can remember. I mean, this has just been so much fun. Oh my gosh! I mean, July was epic for me. The shows, the set lists, the friends. This has just been a great summer for Ange and I. We're so fortunate to be able to see the shows we get to and meet the friends that we get to meet. And yeah, this is great. We're really looking forward to fall. There's rumors floating everywhere. Will they do Vegas and San Francisco? Is Denver in and out? Are they only doing Charlottesville and MSG? But until things get posted, we're on hold on everything until fall tour gets announced, because we really want to hit up some good fall shows, and I think we're definitely in for MSG as well. So I think Angie's already worked that. So hopefully, if you get to a show this fall, we'll be able to meet up and say hi again.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm going to do everything I can to get to MSG if they do actually play there. And I have this picture up here. We got speaking of the Northeast, my buddy Jack Cooper on Twitter. He is from Connecticut, went to the University of Connecticut around the time I was born. he was graduating from the University of Connecticut, but he was from Vegas. We have Angie. Who's next to Angie there?
There's we met a couple that Angie works with in Denver.
Wow.
And they're DMB fans, and we met up with them at MSG, and then we met up with them out here in California as well. So that's Jeff and Leia. They're in the picture. And then I think you're looking at the one with Teddy.
And, yes, Ted Bro. Yeah. Shout out to Ted Bro.
And Jack Cooper.
Yep.
Is in there, and yeah, it's just so fun, man. We didn't meet up with our friend
Carrie
last night. She was running late or something like that, but I sure hope that she had a good show. We extended an olive branch. Was like, hey, if you want to hang out with the group, yeah, you're more than welcome to join us. But she was running late to the venue overnight, so I hope she had a good show.
Yeah.
And all in all, it's just been a great summer, Marcus. It really has. We've had a blast.
And I'm looking at we got the Ted Bro pickup. He got Tim Reynolds' pick. Now I have one too. If you guys can see that, let me put my camera up. But his looks a little.
You got a pick tonight?
Yeah. I have a Tim Reynolds pick, but it's from his TR3 show. So if you guys see my pick in the camera there, this was from a TR3 show in Hartford. His merch guy gave that to me. It's a Tortex. A little bit thinner. My regular pick is a little thinner than that. The Dunlop. Oh yeah, Dunlop. This is my regular pick. It's a lot thinner. His is a little bit thicker for the guitar players. He's got a, what is this? He's got a 1 millimeter. I play on a it's a 0.5 millimeter. So I have about his is double as thick as mine. Anyway, this is a children's show. But yeah, he got a pick tonight. But I want to say you and Angie are everything that's great about this community. Everything I didn't realize about this community coming from the frat bro environment of Hartford in my childhood, in young adulthood, seeing this stuff, never going to a show in person, listening to the band starting around 2005, but seeing this stuff in my city of Hartford all this rioting and stuff and crazy stuff. And I know people grow up and mature, but I didn't realize the awesome people of this community. And I think a great example of it is you and Angie, that the way you help others, you're kind to others, you care and look out for others. And even with Carrie, she was by herself last night, and you guys said, "Hey, come hang out with us." So you guys are
Absolutely.
a great example of what's great in this community. And even the tie dyes, we love our Mile High Dad tie dyes that we have. And I have a first edition. I think I have a fire dancer, yellow fire dancer one. I got a couple other ones that I wear. I think every week I probably wear 2 or 3 of them around the house or out in public. So love them.
That's wonderful. That's great, Marcus.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Well, hey, thanks for coming on. Safe travels back home, and enjoy the last hours or time you have in Southern California.
Thank you so much, Marcus. Thank you for doing this so late. You sacrificed so much of your time to do this as well.
Yeah.
Look forward to talking to you next time. Have a good night.
Thank you. Take care. Bye. All right. So yeah, speaking of that, I got a gig. I got a sound check at 8 a.m. So what is it? It's 3 a.m. right now. It's 3:09 a.m. on the East Coast. Yeah, so pretty. And it doesn't stop. This has been an awesome weekend. Also of note, see if Carrie. Let me just see if Carrie's here, because I would love to get just a quick. Let's see if I can find this. Is she ready? Incredible show. Lost my voice. Okay, let me see. Carry on real quick. But I will say this. As you guys know, I've been talking about it. The SPAC, full stream, the full show was a pleasure to work on it. And really, I did it out of a sense of there are a lot of great, much superior video editors in this community than me, but there wasn't much content. First of all, like Copperpot even said, I was like going to give him all my stuff. He couldn't put together a full show, and hasn't really put one out on a while because of lack of content. And then some other guys in the game, this thing took me 15 to 20 hours minimum. And I'm doing it at a novice level. Not even, even some of the sound mixing people do to blend in different tape audio and camera audio. I am far from even close to being elite at this stuff, but I wanted to put this together for the fans. I said, let me step in, let me record every single show that I've been to for this year and try to put these out because people love them. And here we have Space Cadet on a barn. They played the video that I had. This means a lot because I just want to share this stuff. A lot of this video isn't mine, right? I have some of my video, and I have a lot of other real MVPs of the people closer up that got all these awesome shots. But it's awesome to see that this work in the videos that we record. People, when I have my cell phone out at shows, it's not just to be cool and have a phone out. It's to really preserve some of this stuff. And most times, again, I'm holding my phone in one hand and I'm looking at the show in the other. With this type of thing right here, I'm able to just hold this up. I'm looking out. I'm aware of other people around me to not block them. And this is right at my chin or even to the side. And then I'm watching this. But this is awesome. Also, Rich had this as well. Rich Mooney. He's from Rensselaer, right across from Albany, New York. Great to see him watching this. Thank you guys for the support. And again, I hope you guys enjoy this. And I hope I really, looking at Fish tonight and Derek Trucks, I really hope there's a day where at least we get some more of these YouTube streams or or nugs or something else, because it's just this music and seeing it and hearing it is so powerful. And the tapers, shout out to all the tapers too. Without them, I don't even know. Like I can't even get an idea of what it was like in eras without these awesome tapers. And the band itself being able to share, allow people to tape and record and to do it, you know, at these shows, as long as it's not for profit, things like that. I love that about this band, is that they do, for as much as we don't have these nugs type streams, uh, we do have an ability as to have amateur audio, or not amateur, but taper audio. I won't call it amateur because these tapers are pros. But on my end, at least, I can put together an amateur video, not having, again, the skills of many great people like Copper Pop, but just put it together, get it out there. People are willing to watch in this community grainy cell phone video on the couch tour. That's how much we love this band. We can't even see the stage is buffering and it's grainy, but that's how much we love this band. And that's why I've been encouraged to try to get more of these videos out there. So great. Just it means the world to me that people are watching this stuff, and it makes me happy to watch back a show. To me, the best show I've ever been to, which is SPAC Night 1 2023, with the context of I never was going to shows prior to 2012. So, you know, had I been to those shows, I'm sure SPAC Night 123 wouldn't be my best show, but in the era that I've been in, it's been awesome. There. Let me see if we can get Carrie on the line here. I'm going to try it one more time.
Your call has been forwarded.
Oh, she's gone. I wanted Carrie to rub in the fact that we had a Bayou tonight. I thought it would have been very funny. And feel free to tag me. And when Bayou's played, LOL, whatever you got to do, go ahead and make fun of me. I do think, though, again, I understand why people like the song, and it's always good to just have that fun banter there. And also on Twitter, we had this. I zoomed into Ted Bro's pit picture, and this is funny. So the dude, security. Shouts to security doing his job, but you know, the look over here, like I'm sure he's seeing. Listen, we know how sometimes there'd be crazy stuff going on, but that look like he's like, bruh, what are these fans doing? These fans are nuts, and we know some of the fans can be nuts, including ourselves. But when Louisiana Bayou hit, right, that Bayou hit, and someone tagged me in this, I had that little look. That's my look like. My wife said when I told her, because I fell asleep, woke up, and then before I went down to do the stream, I told her, yeah, Bayou's place. She's like, hey, at least you're not there. I'm like, good point, great perspective, honey. She's like, hey, at least you're not there. But I'm sure it was good because you have filling games there, and I know it's the jam is awesome for Bayou. I just think the song, but again, if you like it, that's cool. Good for you. Do you? So yeah, that was funny. We had a little caption kind of. Let's see what some of the captions were for this. Steve says, F around and find out. Bridget says they better save Kit Kat Jam for Bridget at the Gorge. Jeff says, I don't even know what the last step of Halloween means, but apparently I should get out of here if either of them happen. And then Billy says, who is DMB? That's what the guy said, the caption right there. Who is DMB? So great. See that. What else? There was what else? Oh, I did shout out to the people on Reddit, but there was a wild post about hating Irvine night 1, and what did I do? I replied to it. Let me see if I can find that. I'll just show I won't screenshot the whole thing, but I'm gonna show you my response if I can. Let's see if I can get this down. I think one of the things I always love discussion. I love having discussions. I don't believe in echo chambers, but one of the things that I think if you have an opinion or point, you need to bring some sort of supporting details to it. And that was really what the post on today. Where's the post? I'm looking for that post. It may have gotten deleted. I don't know. Maybe they kicked it off. I think they deleted the. Oh, I'm looking at this, and the post that was on Reddit. The problem is there was no awareness of the band's history, and there was no awareness of the fact that oh yeah, I don't think I can find it. Yeah, there was just no awareness to of what the band's history is as far as repeats, because the idea was, oh, the band repeated. They had too many repeats from Highland, California. I'm like, my point was there were 6 repeats in Irvine and there were 6 repeats at SPAC Night 1, which is arguably the best show of the, everyone has a different opinion, but a lot of people are saying SPAC Night 1 2023 is the best show of the summer tour. So repeats are something this band does, and this band, a lot of the anger towards repeats with this community has no logic. Like, a lot of it has no logic, and that's really all I ask. Just bring some supporting details. Like, this band has always repeated stuff. They've always repeated stuff. You should have saw the 2000 tour. A lot of repeats. Busted stuff 3 nights in Hartford. But that's one of the things this band has. They're never going to be Fish. They have to have a rhythm. You're going to see stuff from the previous night. But yeah, it looks like the post got deleted. They may have just been like, cut. They didn't want to take these chances, right? They didn't want to take these chances. I think I have I have a screenshot of what I said, but whatever. Yeah, they cut it and they deleted it. But it's good to have opinions. But support your opinions, support your details. I believe in debate. I believe in arguments. I believe in different perspectives that you bring up, and all that stuff. So it is what it is. I'm all about discussions. Shout out to the DMB Almanac. I'm all about the data on this website. And let's see. Let me pull this up, and we'll end with another selection. Shout out to Jeff Nash he got a lot of great videos from last night. There's some nights where and listen, if you don't want to take video, don't take video. I understand, enjoy the concept, but there's some nights where you don't have a lot of video. But last night, man, Jeff did a lot of different things to get different video, and we'll close out on that Little Red Bird. We'll close out on that. Am I missing anything? I don't think I'm missing anything. But I got to get to bed. What is it? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I got in 4 hours. I got to get up. And for that sound check. I'm getting that Little Red Bird up. Also, shout out to Fish. I know this isn't a Fish stream, but Derek Trucks came on. Derek Trucks was he had a horse out in Saratoga racing today, and by fate, the Fish fundraiser for upstate New York, Vermont, in those areas affected by some flooding earlier this summer, they decided to do 2 SPAC shows on this weekend, and Derek Trucks had a horse racing. So Derek Trucks naturally is a guest with Fish, and I was watching some of that before I went to bed tonight so I could be ready for this show, and phenomenal. and I'll be watching that back. It's on YouTube. If you go to the Fish, just look up Fish on YouTube, and you'll be able to see that. But that was impressive. I don't know if the after show was gonna be on. Shout out to Hines and Jen. I don't know if they got power back, but maybe that'll be on. Check them out on Twitter, Don Dingle. Half his tweets will make you want to yell at the screen in anger. Half the tweets will make you laugh. And like I said, every now and then he does have Hines is right. Every now and then, somewhere over the rainbow, when you look over there next to the pot of gold, there's a great Hines post. But the after show on Twitter, Don Dingo, you can look him up on Twitter, and you should be able to see the after show, which is after the DMB post show stream. Late night thoughts from Hines, aka Don Dingo. All right, we'll put that little red bird up. You guys have a wonderful night. I am going to go to bed and then wake up shortly after because the sun's finna come up in a couple hours. Because it is 3:24 a.m. right now on the East Coast. Oh, shout out to the new headphones. I got some new headphones there. Oh, you guys can't see. The other ones, let me show you what happened, man. These ones, they on their number 27. They've been losing since the losers feel like dying, and it's only coming out of one ear. These are the AKGs. I actually love these. These are Bluetooth headphones that you can also plug in and wire up. But the problem was these. I don't think these were. I mean, I had these for 2 or 3 years, but these have been worn down, and I think with sweat, I was playing live and sweating a lot. Playing with these live music, they just kind of wore down. But the cool thing about these is I could travel with these. So when I'm in the airport, when I was going, these went through, I think, at least one gorge 21. But I could take these while I was traveling. And these are Bluetooth headphones, right? But then when I go and do the post-show streams, these are great studio. These are still studio headphone quality. These were better. These are very solid studio headphones. But the wear and tear, and then the wires were hanging out here. These new ones that I have right here, there's no wires hanging out, and these seem more durable, and that's what's important. But this still plays out of one ear, so I'm still gonna keep these. And sometimes when I'm around the house, just if I want it in one ear, a podcast or something, it's wireless, Bluetooth. 24. I think it has a 24-hour charging life too. Very long audio charge there. But anyway, I got these new ones. They feel a lot better. So anyway, I'm going to end the post-show stream. I'm telling you, these post-show streams are getting a little long, guys. All right. I will see you guys later. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.
Seriously, I haven't played this song in a long time, and not that it will make a difference to you, so I'm a little bit scared. But it's a pretty song, and only so much can go wrong. I mean, we're all good, I think, for the most part. Everybody's doing okay. Sometimes if we get too caught up in the noise of the world that's coming out of the TV and coming out of telephones and coming out of the news, and there's a lot of terrible things going on in the world, and a lot of people who have too much and a lot of people who don't have enough and that sort of thing. And but then we also have to remember when we're all together in a place like this, that we should also notice when things are good. And I had a good night, so I'm gonna notice. little red bird under a chair, waiting for the crumbs to fall. Daddy said, get a job, but don't you see, Daddy, how good I am at catching crumbs? Guns and gods and little red birds, guns and gods and little red birds. Don't you see, Daddy, how good I am at catching crumbs? General Custer, it said, overestimated his abilities to win. The Sitting Bull turned the table on him. Their comfort to count the battles won after the war is lost. Guns and gods and little red birds, guns and gods and little red birds. Their comfort to count the battle won after the war is lost. Okay. Comfort to count the battle won after the war is lost. If there was a place hidden in the stars, reflected on heaven's graces, if God had an honest face, then their troubled expression